Greetings, this is Skylar Saunders Scene. What's current? Merry Christmas. It's a beautiful day. I got up early, took my drugs. My dad was still resting. He well needed and well deserved rest. He's been up and down and running around all this time, making sure everything went off well. Everything went off beautifully yesterday, Christmas Eve. My sister and her husband and my niece and nephew came by, and they had a good time. And before I want to go any further, Keith, if you're listening out there in internet land, I know it's 11:08 where you are, but Merry Christmas to you, sir. I hope you chime in. Get in on the fun. I got 2 viewers and 1 like so far. I don't think I've ever had a show this early in the morning. So I was just testing it out, holiday style. You know how we do. You know. So yeah, but yesterday was beautiful. We had our own version of the Feast of the Seven Fishes. We had haddock. We had buffalo style sand. I think it was. I'm trying to remember what kind of fish it was, but we had crab dip. We were going in. We had French fries. We had holiday wreath for dessert. It was tasty, very delectable Christmas Eve, very enjoyable time. And I'll get back to this later. I'll get back to this later at the end of the show. But or towards the end of the show. Talking about how politics can ruin families. I didn't get it. I didn't engage. I didn't. I wasn't on the offensive. I didn't. Say, "Oh, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. Whatever." I just asked questions. That's all I did. I'll talk about it later. All right. So, topic of discussion. Merry Christmas again. Is actually about Waka Flocka Flame, one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's probably in my top 60 favorite rappers of all time. Joey, Merry Christmas. You seem new here. Is this your first time here? Merry Christmas. For everybody that comes through, that's the first time. I'm asking, where's that donation? I'm taking 10s, 20s, 50s, and anything in between. You can do $30.44. I don't care, as long as it clears through and goes to my bank account. I have a very serious, very special cause. It's a good cause that I like to support, and I like other people to support. It's called my bank account. That's what I'm so supportive of. I'm very supportive of my bank account. So I appreciate you, Joey. Merry Christmas. If you could just drop a few dollars in, I'm looking for 10s and 20s and 40s, 60s, something like that. We're trying to get a goal, trying to reach a goal today, $160. Trying to get to $160. So if you can just give me, I have my Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App available. So where is that donation? All right, enough of that. Waka Flocka Flame, like many other rappers who I thought was going to take over the game, Silk the Shocker, Joel Santana, and Waka Flocka Flame. They all have a unique flow. They all have a different viewpoint on the world. They have a different approach to hip hop and rap and art and the whole genre. I really like Waka Flocka Flame. I bought his CD when this was CDs, when I was buying CDs. I bought a CD, played it in my car all the time. Almost warped the damn thing. It's Flockavelli. That was his first album. And I was just like blown away. I mean, and he admits it. He's not the best rapper in the world. That's why he's like in the top 60. He's not that great of a rapper, but he knows what beats to select. He's one of the best production selectors. Is selector a word? Let me make sure. But one of the best beat miners of all time, ever. He knows how to ride on a beat with a flow, and he has something to say. He has party anthems, Grove Street Party. He's got OLED Do It and so many others, but he also has something like industry. He's like, F this industry, bitch, I'm in these streets. Like, you gotta respect that. I respect that about him. It's it's something that I think is worth viewing, worth listening to. But he in this article that I have he said he's an effed up rapper, and he knows it. That was one of the greatest things, and he has respect for those who came before him. Okay, salute. Hold on, give me a moment. Salute, Joey. You know what? We're getting there. That's all right. I'm taking 10s and 20s and 30s, but that's you wanna. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for the PayPal. Excuse me, for the Cash App. I appreciate that. So we got $5 raised, $155 to go. Let's get it. Thank you, Joey. Merry Christmas to you. I appreciate that. You're just coming in. I'll take fives. I'll take any denomination above $5. $7, $8, $9, $9. Especially 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s. But any amount in between that, because it's not like it's cash money. There's not denomination. It's not denominational. Like I was saying with Waka Flocka is one of the best, in the game for yeah. It's early height. Salute, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. You gonna help us get to this goal? This might be an extended show. I'm either gonna do this the first day of January or today. Haven't figured it out yet. I'm still working on it. Are you on the West Coast? Right? So I'm asking. And it's late for people like Keith. It's like 11:15 in Japan right now. So it's sketchy. It's real messy. No, it's not a messy. It's all right. Waka Flocka Flame. When I heard oh, you're on the East Coast. Okay, good to go, Height. I see you. It's still early though. It's especially early on Christmas. Are you opening gifts? Are you handing out gifts? What's going on? What's happening in your world? Same thing with you, Joey. If Joey, you're still around, I don't think so, but I appreciate that donation sincerely. But what's going on in your household? You're on your mobile device right now, or what's going on? What's happening? Are you watching me while you have kids? I don't know. And you have people, nephews and nieces, and you just have a significant other that you're exchanging gifts with. What's going on, Height? Let me know. So back to Waka Flocka Flame. He's a premier production, knowledgeable in that. Okay, Height says no gifts yet. I'll be meeting with the fam around 3 p.m. Oh, good to go. Good to go. Okay, gotcha. All right, so Waka Flocka Flame probably picks beats better than everybody says it. Nas. Okay, we got it. That's well worn. He actually now has, Hit Boy and Justice League and everything like that, because he one of the either excuses or reasons why Nas always picked the beats that were a bit challenging was to do just that, to fight up, to fight above his weight class. He wanted to fight, against the beats. He wanted to go against them and challenge himself in that regard. So, But Waka Flocka just said, you know what, throw on that beat, and he had I think the album, except for 2 songs, maybe it's 3, it could be 2 or 3, are all produced by Lex Luger, and I thought he was gonna take over the production game. I was like, this cat is crazy. I did a video of him, over a decade ago, saying, this young guy, Lex Luthor, and he's from Virginia. That's like the land of producers: Timbaland, Pharrell, and the Neptunes, Knots, Missy Elliott, and just a whole slew of other other producers that hail from the place, that's for lovers. Virginia is for lovers. But he's Waka Flocka Flame's from East. I think it's from Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know if it's exactly East Atlanta, Georgia, but I'm sure he's from Atlanta, Georgia, or the whereabouts, close to that. But his selection of beats, like, and the thing is, it's like he's not that whack of a rapper. He's just not great. He's just not, most excellent on the mic. He doesn't have the best flow. But he knows what to do with a beat. He knows what to do with the production. And then when you have those albums that are special, that have the rapper and the producer, and they're together and they know what to do, that is a beautiful union that should not be set asunder. I mean, look at Common's masterpiece, B. He only had 2 producers on the whole album: the late great Jay Dilla and the artist formerly known as Kanye West. Yay. That was it. I mean, there's Jay-Z. He had 444. I think the whole album was produced by No ID. And it goes on and on and on. When you have those special moments, and it's cool to have, multiple producers like Jay-Z did with the Blueprint and the Blueprint 2. Blueprint 2 was crazy. He had the Neptunes, Just Blaze, Kanye, Ye. He had Heavy D. He had a whole slew of different producers. And same thing with the Black Album with Jay-Z. He had Ninth Wonder, Ye, Just Blaze, Pharrell, the Neptunes, Eminem, just to name a few. But that's part of the game. That's what I've been saying all along. You got these women, and men, but mainly women that want to, after their long shift, working 14 hours a day as a surgeon, making $150,000 to $200,000 a year. They want to listen to Beethoven, Bach, and Brahms when they kick off their their shoes, and they put on their heels, and they're getting ready to go out for the night. They want to listen to Waka Flocka Flame. Damn it. They're trying to hear that, that hard body, I got a whole lot of money. Bees counted for me. Got the whole son. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Like, that's what they're trying to listen to. Guys, some guy's working on his thesis in college. He doesn't want to listen to, Mozart at the time, in the background. He wants to listen to a Mozart concert in full. He wants to listen to a Beethoven concert in full. He doesn't want to listen to it in the background. So he can put on Waka Flocka Flame in the background, and he can power through his thesis. I'm just giving examples. Just giving examples. So I think that, Waka Flocka, he knows it. That's what it's so he's not like, oh, you think I'm a bad rapper? What? Really? I thought I was all right. No, he said I'm an effed up rapper. I'm not that great. I'm not that good. But I bet I can move your feet. But I bet I can put you in the, get you a glass, or a bottle, at your table, and y'all gonna have a good time. Waka Flocka said he's entertained at least 3,000 crowds. He had over 300,000. He had over 3,000 shows before. So that's something that's spectacular to me. That's something that is, extraordinary to me. The fact that he has a catalog, which is pretty deep. Let me make sure. I'm gonna do a little bit of googling. I'm gonna just talk through the googling because all I can remember is one album, his first album, but he's got multiple. He's like Soldier Boy. Everybody thinks Soldier Boy up in the they used to crank that, but they're not realizing salute me or shoot me for salute me. That's he had four of those, salute me or shoot me, in the series. Triple F Life, Flockavelli 2, um, Do Flocka Rant, Do Flocka Rant. I guess he's saying Durant, uh, Durant. He has multiple salute me or shoot me's. LeBron Flocka, and a whole host of other different projects. So he's no slouch. He just didn't take over the game the way I thought he was going to. The top is always the money, power, and respect. Drizzy's got the money. K-Dot's got the power. Cole's got the respect. That's how it flows. That's the way it goes. That's how it begins. So, it, it definitely is something that is powerful on the mic, and he, like I said, he gives props to all the hip hop heads before him in their 40s and 50s and 60s. He gives them their due diligence, their props, and their respect, because he says, without them, I wouldn't be here, and that's facts. You have to have a firm foundation, and that includes the architects that constructed hip hop, that made the 9 elements. That's what's so beautiful about this ugly genre. It can be beautiful and ugly at the same time. That's what my favorite living author of fiction said. Can't ugly be beautiful? It's one of the best questions I ever had in my life. That's what the blues is. That's what the tradition. It evolved from the old Negro spirituals. Them singing in the cotton crops and the tobacco and the sugar canes and different things like that, and it just evolved in the blues, and it evolved into jazz and rock and roll and R&B and soul and hip hop. Or maybe hip hop was a little earlier. We'll talk about that later. We talked about that quite a few times. But Waka Flocka Flame, man, he's the truth. He is the truth. He definitely, when he had that first album, I was like, and then when this is a special occasion for me, because I love this is before all the mess that Diddy's in now. Um, 1 second, hold on. Had to fix the hats. Still looking crazy. What is wrong with this? All right, hats are aligned again, I think. But whoever came in, make sure you hit that like button. Whoever's in here, make sure you hit that like button. I need that for the algorithm. I got an evergreen video that's got over 2,000 views. It's one of my top videos. My top video was Dame Dash with 6,000 views. And I know that's nothing to a lot of people. You can get 6,000 views in a few minutes to some people, but it's not. Hey, I'm on my grind. I have a different grind, and I'm happy about it. I'm not sulking. I'm not with my lips poked out and sad. I'm proud. I got my chin up, head back, back straight. I'm ready to bust this cannon. All right, so Waka Flocka Flame, he is in. His mother was in the business long before he even started. What was her name? Anthony. Um, trying to think of her name. Deborah Anthony, his mother. She she orchestrated a lot of things in his life. She was one of the bosses, you know, quarterbacking a lot of the different projects that were surrounding Waka Flocka Flame. I don't know his status with Gucci Mane. I think they fell out and maybe they patched things up again. I don't even know if he's gone good standing with his mother. All I know is that man can make some great rhymes off of beats. And he's got millions. I know he's got millions because girl, your way you moving got me in a trance. Ladies hanging up. Ladies, it's your damn. I'm a motto. You know, that song, you know, No Hands with Roscoe Dash and Wale. That was a hit. That was a certified jam. And like I was saying before, Oh Let Do It, the remix, when Diddy was talking his shit. Loved it when Diddy was talking his shit. I don't know if he'll ever come back to talk about his shit again. He might be so, caught up in lawsuits and possible jail time, allegedly, because of past actions. But when he said, I got my billions up, effing with them white folk, now I don't give a F because I'm richer than them white folk. I was like, damn, this nigga's, he's on some another level stuff. Lamborghini truck. Y'all ain't even seen it yet. Head to Teterboro just to Diddy Bop and land my jet. Like, what? And then Waka Flocka Flame kept his verse. I F my money up. Now I can't re-up. Like, just greatness. I just love, the bravado, the bravura, or bravura. I don't know. Did you say in masculine or feminine? Please correct me. But the confidence and the self-esteem, maybe borrowed self-esteem, maybe not be full on complete self-esteem, but self-esteem nonetheless. That's one of the cornerstones of hip-hop as well. You have to be the shit. You have to be the best. You have not better, but the best. You have to create within your own style something that is credible and something that is, could be useful to the world. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're saying, it has to have some kind of substance to it, and it has to make sense, and it has to flow on the beat. Even though I said before, I thought, Silk the Shocker, who never really was on beat. Same thing with Blueface. They never really, found their pocket, on the beat. Nothing like Big Boy. Big Boy is my fourth favorite rapper of all time. Any many decision with precision I pick or make my selection of whom I choose to be with. What? Like the way he like flowed on the beat was just amazing. Amazing. But Flocka, he's not like that. He'll flow over the beat, barely rhyming, barely, making complete sense. But then he'll turn around and give you something, special, something, that'll hit you. That'll grant you something to think about. Like I think it is called Industry. I believe its first week sales were 37,000 copies, and those were more. It sold 400,000 copies. It didn't even go gold. That's a shame because it was actually a pretty good outing. And most people at Enemy, Metacritic, Spin, Rolling Stone even get it was released to generally positive reviews. Okay, it's called F This Industry. Okay. Yeah, live by the gun. I'ma die by the gun. F the club up. F the club up. Brick squad. You know, he made money off of No Hands. I know that. I know that's a certification. At least $1 million. At least. Yep. Diamond, excuse me. Holy Moses. Waka Flocka went diamond with Roscoe Dash and Wale. So he's good. He's good. There's no question about that. And that was from Drummer Boy, the producer. No Hands. Waka Flocka did it. He did a diamond. I'm glad I looked that up. I was like, maybe they did 2 million tops. 10 million individual sales, downloads sold. Gotta respect it. I respect all that. It's something very, unique. So the power of the microphone doesn't have to be somebody, spitting garbage, struggle bars, for half an hour, and just going off the top of his head. You can get my SoundCloud, it's my SoundCloud is on. You can get my album off my SoundCloud, something like that. You don't have to be that. Waka Flocka wasn't that, and still isn't. He's very akin to, I would say, Fabulous, Soldier Boy. They drop mixtapes, and they are in the game already. Dot Focus. Oh man. Salute to you. Merry Christmas. Make sure you hit that like button. Black Cuddy in here. Make sure you donate. Merry Christmas. Cuddy. You laughing. I'm not laughing at my bank account. It's looking kind of skimpy right now after all these toys and stuff I bought. It's looking kind of crazy. But yeah, so there is that. That's one of the best ways to say that you're a rapper is to admit your faults. And Waka Flocka's main fault was that he was a bad rapper. And he still is. I think he still raps. But it didn't deter him because he knew, if I make this beat, or if I get somebody to make this beat for me, Drummer Boy or Lex Luger or anybody else, I can get this money. I can go diamond. No Hands went diamond. As many times they played it on the radio, I mean, goddamn, I'm surprised it didn't go diamond. I mean, I'm not surprised it did go diamond. Girl, the way you move it got me in a trance. Look, No Hands. All that ass in those jeans. Kim Waddle C. Kim Waddle B. Like that. This is a classic record. It's a great song. Definitely says one thing about Flocka, he definitely being 100% exactly. For that, I always he says F with him. I'm trying not to cuss on. It's Christmas. I'm trying not to cuss. I use nigger. I'm trying not to use the B word. I use ass. That's as close as I can say. But if you guys want to cuss, go ahead. Nobody's gonna see. What you're saying anyway. Oh, I forgot about that cussing. No, it's all good. You can cuss. You can cuss. Dot Focus. You can cuss. It's all good. I'm just trying not to cuss. Just because I don't want to be flying off at the mouth. Talking all reckless. But you guys can cuss. Y'all can cuss as long as you want. Dot Focus says, "Nah, I gotta stop cussing too personally." Yeah. Hey, it was like that for me in the Marines. Oh my God. That's all you heard was F this, F that, S this, S that. And then the cat and then the officer comes by. Yes, sir. Aye, sir. Yes, sir. Dalfo says, I'm just sharpening my personal sword. Pause. Let me make sure I pop your collar. Pause. By putting this on. Ladies and gentlemen, visit .focus, DOTFOCUS _ Twitch. His Twitch is twitch.tv/DOTFOCUS _1, not multiple, just one _. Make sure you check him out. He's doing some, I think he was doing Call of Duty the last time I saw it. And I was just like, damn, it's hurt my eye. I tried to follow it. It's different for me. I used to play, I was a gamer. I used to play Metal Gear Solid, Gran Turismo, all of that. I even played Resident Evil 4. Those games were fire. But I can't get, Fortnite and, what are the other ones? Modern Warfare and Assassin's Creed and all that. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right, so I'm wrapping up Waka Flocka Flame. Bottom line, top 60 MC. Dalfo says, bro, I'm sick. I run with a knife and shield and be catching W's. Facts. I saw that. I actually noticed that. It was hurt. My eyes were like going everywhere. But I was like, damn, he's doing this damn thing. And you had people with you. You're like, I can't remember the exact verbiage, but they're like, I'm going down, like I'm going over. Shots fired. And I was like, what the hell? What's going on here? Like, I'm waiting for the video game where they show the life after combat, where a veteran, goes to the VA, and then they have to, get care, and their wife cheats on them, and they have to get a divorce. I'm looking forward to that video game. I think that would be very dramatic, and they'll sell a lot of copies because of the realism. Dalfocus says, yeah, I got a few squads. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just waiting for that one game. There's going to be one game that's going to be like, it's going to tell the truth. When you get back home and people, look at you and they say, thank you for your service. And you say, thank you for your support. You pay for your taxes. You pay your taxes. I thank you for your support. That, that's the reality, and going after the GI Bill and all that. That's one video game I think would be very entertaining. Trying to figure out what forms to fill out. But I digress. I had another topic, at the tail end of the show. Family. It's kind of ties into it. Family. It's gonna get goofy. It almost got goofy yesterday with somebody I love. I'm not even going to say his or her name, but it almost got goofy because this person was talking about Gaza Strip, talking about how the Gazans are, to be protected and to be loved and cared for. And they don't give a damn about anybody in America, especially black people. They don't care. But this person who I know and love is a black person. So they had a whole little diatribe. I was just asking questions. I didn't lob any, offensive lines or anything like that. I didn't say anything against this person or their standpoint or their viewpoint. I just asked questions. I was like, so what happened on October 7th? And this person says, oh, well, that's just what happened, for 75 years. Okay. There's Yom Kippur War. There's 6 Days War. There's the hostages, take the Israeli hostages taken and killed at the 72 Olympics. And I was just like, okay. And this person just goes on. This person continues. I should say, they continue talking about how there were gardens and stuff in Gaza. It's like so sad. I wanted to destroy this person. I wanted to destroy them. I could have rhetorically dismantled their whole argument completely without blinking. Hands behind my back, neck, my eyes closed or eyes blinded with a blindfold. So just be careful around, on the dinner table. I know it was Thanksgiving, it was like that too. You get into what they call politics. It's not just politics, it's epistemology as well. It's different levels, ethics that are involved, not just politics. But that is one of the things that ruins, meals, the talk of politics. But we didn't really talk. They were talking. And I just had to get a question across. I just had to ask, how do you square October 7th with what is happening now? And they said, oh, well, there's millions of people marching. And I said, well, have you ever heard of a million people or $1 million counterfeit dollars and one true dollar, one real dollar? Have you heard of that? You ever think about that? Because you can have $1 million counterfeit dollars. How much is $1 million counterfeit dollars versus $1? Exactly. So you have to have a value system. And this person is a racist through and through, without a question. They are a racist. They are a complete and total racist. Because they were expecting me to say, well, words from William Tecumseh Sherman, how war is cruel, and the crueler it is, the shorter it will be. I was going. They wanted me to land on that, grenade, because they were always going to be right. There's no question they're going to be right. No question. Whatever you say, they're going to have a rebuttal, and it's going to be like, oh, well, this is that, and this is that, and that. And they said to my face, oh, that's from some white man. Well, that's obviously racist. It can't be validated because the man is white. Are you kidding me? Doesn't matter what the skin color is. It's the principles. It's the ideology. It's the thought patterns. So don't get caught up in it. Eat the turkey or the ham, wherever the case may be. Eat your baked ziti. That's what we're having. Baked ziti. Make sure you have all your different desserts. Your sweet your pumpkin pie, your sweet potato pie. Have all that. Don't have all the epistemology, ethics, and politics. EAP along the philosophical branches: metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, politics, and aesthetics. MIPA. Don't do it. I was close to doing it. I was very close. I just asked questions. I did not, attack or didn't defend or anything. I just asked questions just to see where their head was, just to see what they were thinking, just to see what it was like. That's all I was doing. And we didn't fall out. We didn't. I don't want to speak to you, and we can't. I'm sure at least one table somewhere, at least one. There's probably millions, but at least one table somewhere said, well, the Palestinians have been fighting all over for 75 years and trying to get land. And the kicker that this person said really blew me away. I was like, whoa. I asked this person, I said, do you think these surrounding nations have a right to a dictatorship? And this person said, yes. I want to go off. I want to say, are you out of your mother? You know what, mind? Like I wanted to say that so bad. I just it's otherwise nice, kind, do anything for you kind of person, but the epistemology, ethics, and politics are just completely corrupt, just awful, terrible. Abdul Mateen's. Am I saying Merry Christmas to you? I don't know. Uh, I'm gonna just say good morning. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say Merry Christmas because everybody gets Merry Christmas. Even if you don't say you celebrate Merry Christmas, he says no, sir. Our focus says, I used to think we all thought the same. The older I get, the more I realize that's not the case. Facts. Facts, facts, facts. And it's sad because you grow up in the same house as other people and you get the same values and lessons, and they have a totally different outlook on life. They have a totally different outlook on life. They have a completely different way of viewing it. Make sure you hit that like button. I see 3 people in here with 5 likes. It's a completely different outlook. Yes. That focus says that. So, but like I said before, I'm doing my team. You may celebrate something different, but it's still Merry Christmas. You can still have it's Christmas Day, and I don't celebrate the mystical aspects of Christmas. I celebrate the commercial aspects of Christmas. That's why I'll say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I know you're Muslim. I know you're Muslim. I'm an atheist. I do not believe that Jesus was born on December 25th. It's a myth. It's a complete fallacy. He was born sometime in the spring. So I only say Merry Christmas to you out of respect for the commercial dollar, for the dollar. That's what's most important thing about this season is all the money that is spent and produced and earned. That's why I say Merry Christmas. I say Merry Christmas. I don't like saying Happy Holidays too much. I say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays or something like that. But if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish or something like that, or Buddhist or Hindu or whatever your prescribed faith, I still say Merry Christmas. It's the only time you get to say Merry in front of anything really in time for the whole year. You say Happy Birthday, you say Happy Easter, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy 4th of July, Happy Juneteenth. All these are happy, but Merry Christmas is special because it's a special day of trading. You trade value for value. If you're a little kid, you're trading your behavior. Remember that? Remember when we were little kids? And you were like, oh, if I do this, man, I ain't gonna get nothing for Christmas. And they gonna say that too. They were like, you ain't gonna get nothing for Christmas either. And you'd be like, oh, damn. And then you wake up on Christmas morning and you got something, you're like, ah. But you still saying your man, like, I ain't doing that again, though, because they might, two times wrong, I'm be wrong, out of here. But that's what it is. So it's a beautiful time period, and don't let epistemology, ethics, and politics ruin your meals or your outings or anything like that. I'm sure somewhere people have raised their voice and said, no, Israel is right. You have to understand that they've been fighting for 75 years. They're the only technologically and morally based country amongst a desert of savages and brutes. Like, I'm sure somewhere, somehow, out of all the millions and billions of tables all over this world, it's had to have happened at least once. Somebody's probably walked out with with the ham and kept it moving. All right, I see Rick James in the spot. I got 6 likes with 4 people in here. I'm not mad at that. Merry Christmas. Everybody gets Merry Christmas, even if you're, like I said, I'm a non-believer in the theory of God. I'm an atheist. It's the irony of the world. It's the ultimate irony. Ultimate irony. Billions of people, literally billions of people, believe in something that isn't there. There's no there, as Dr. Uron Brooks says. There's no there with hell, heaven, God, Jesus, not all of that. Everything that comes with it, Muhammad, Allah, all that. Everything. Yahshua, all of that. It's all not real. It's not based on facts and reality and truth. But it rains. Billions of people go, realize it. Europe is probably the only example of people that are like, yeah, I believe. And this, I'm not going to church though. And the second is probably America. America's like that. America is spiritual without realizing what spiritual means. Spiritual means just of your mind or your thoughts, based in reality, not spiritual based on, the covenant of blood of Jesus or something like that. That's what that's about. But don't let the epistemology, ethics, and politics ruin a good holiday meal, a good holiday game, or something like that. I just had to ask this person. I had to, and that was my coup de grace. I didn't have a fight, but I had like a last stab, and that just almost took my breath away when this person said, "Yes, they should have a right to a dictatorship." I was just like, no, this can't be. This is not happening. Otherwise, great person. Great person. Get back. I'll get on to. Well, I'm on the topic on right now. I'm talking about this person I was talking about. We were talking about yesterday. Abdul Mateen says, "Get back on topic. I eat good every day. That's great. Get that money. I hope that's one thing we can all at least relate to. Money. No matter your gender, your sexuality, your your racial makeup, your background, the dollar and the yen and the won, the other currencies, euros, pounds, all pesos, all of them correspond to the mind, to thinking. And if you can't, relate to somebody on the fact that they believe in Allah or they believe in Jesus or they believe in a telephone pole, they worship a telephone pole. That's all in their business. But when it comes to the dollar, it's pay up. It's pay up. That's the truth to that matter. We all can at least relate to each other based on the dollar. And that's what is generated during this time period anyway. And what happens right after Christmas? After the hangover of New Year's Day, and you gotta get right back to work. And what else? Tax season. They hit you. You spent all that money, you went into debt. Now you gotta pay your taxes. I don't have to pay taxes out of pocket. It comes out of my deposit automatically. I have to pay Medicare tax, which is amazingly stupid because I don't really need Medicare like that because I have most of my medical conditions handled through the Veterans Affairs. I have to talk to somebody about that. I'll see about that. But yeah, don't let words and what's going on in the news and things that are going on in Europe and Middle East, tear your family apart based on what you say and what they say. Let them just say their words, get the last word, let them get the last word. I let this person let them get the last word. They expressed themselves. They kept kept going on and on saying, oh, they had beautiful gardens and wonderful guys and there's millions of people protesting. Okay, there could be 10 billion people protesting. Doesn't mean they're right. Doesn't mean that they're true. Doesn't mean that they're factual. It just means that they're not attuned to reality. They're not with the true actions of people. Like the Israelis are not perfect by any standpoint, but you have to go black and white. You can't show that they're a little they're a little gray here. No, it's black and white in terms of who is right and who is wrong. That has to be unequivocal. You can't fight against it. It has to be totally clear, crystalline. That's the way it has to be. Has to be that way. Why? Because for humanity, for the selfish, identity you have for yourself and your own human race. That's what has to happen. That's the goal that you have to have for yourself. That's the goal that you have to have for everything that you do. Has to be selfish. Has to be self-interested, rationally self-interested. You won't hear too many times people say, oh, you're acting rationally self-interested. Nobody says that. I don't think anyone's ever said that, even in the positives. You're very rationally self-interested. I mean, maybe a few people a few objectivists might have said that, in passing. But they know that better to say the word selfish. That's such a loaded term. It's almost like takes your breath away. Almost, it's almost like a gas, like a not a poisonous gas, but just a volatile gas, like nitroglycerin. It's possible that could help out your ticker, or it could blow you up. It's one way or the other, and that's the power of selfishness. How it's used. Oh, you're just selfish. You're just selfish. You're a selfish person. Everybody has heard that before. Everybody knows what that's like. Everybody's been on that. I'm sure everyone, of at least adult age has heard that at least in a movie or in a TV show or read it in the newspaper or something like that. Selfishness is always categorized as a negative. But Ayn Rand said that selfishness is a positive. It's just a fact of life. It's a fact of truth. And people that use, special days like, well, it's my me day. Well, it's my birthday. Well, it's about me today. I have to have a spa day. That's cute. But then you'll say, oh, that's selfish. I can't do that. No. Oh, you're selfish. You shouldn't be doing that. But you want your me day and your birthday, and you use your your singular pronouns, I, me, mine, myself, and mine all day. And that's just, I'm just scratching the surface. That's not that deep. But it's in Ayn Rand's book, Anthem. You have to check that book out if you haven't read it yet. I've read it at least 22 times with the aid of a audiobook. So it's definitely embedded in my head. I can't name, specific events and, the different character names, but I can see the images in my head. I see there's an image of people who had their tongues cut out and they're smiling still on the stake, to be burned, and a little trickle of blood comes out. I can see that in black and white. I see it in black and white instead of color. I would love to see a graphic novel of Anthem. I think there is one out, but I think it may be in color. Abdul Mateen. Is that from the Hadith? What is that from? Is that from the Quran? A man is no good to his family unless he takes care of himself first. Amen. Hallelujah. Hadith. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like. Okay, see, that's what I was arguing too. I was arguing about Jesus. Jesus, he's more of a weakling. He's not that virile. He's not strong like Muhammad. Muhammad had, a family, and he had wives. I think he had kids. He had business ventures. Jesus was just a carpenter, and they said he had miracles. So he gave 5,000 fish and bread and loaves of bread to people. He made lunch. He made water and the wine. Okay, so he can make good. He's good at dinner parties. Okay, it's like, and he raised people from the dead. Maybe he wasn't dead, like George Carlin said, the late great George Carlin. He said maybe Lazarus had a hangover. It looked like he was dead, but he was just trying to fight off a hangover. Like, you gotta understand what I'm saying here. I mean, they talk about baby Jesus, but they're all really talking about Easter. They want Christmas, and that's cute. Oh, the baby Jesus, he's so cute. Oh my God, that's so great. Well, oh my God, this is great. And they really want the blood streaking and the lashings and the organs showing from being hit with the cat of nine tails, and the thorny crown upon his head, and the nails driven into his hands and feet, and I can go on and on and on. It's like one of the most brutal deaths of all time, if not the most beautiful death of all time. Abdul Mateen says, Jesus, may Allah be pleased with him, was an extraordinary man. Yeah, kinda. Not really. I mean, like I said, Muhammad definitely had a better. He had a better strength. I'm not saying he's. I'm an atheist. I'm not saying he's some great, leader, great warrior or something like that. But I'm saying he in relationship to Jesus, he's just, there's no comparison. Over time, Jesus has been held as the Superman, the Ubermensch, the ultimate idealist, the ultimate goal to be sinless. You have to go through in order to get to the Father. You have to get to me. So some people can be selfish. There are a few people that can be selfish in life, like beggars and children, and I'm talking about like poor indigent children, poor children. If you're a child that's of means, or if you at least have like a modest background, you can't say you're selfish. You can't do anything that could be resembled as selfish. You can't do it. So, but Jesus can be selfish. I am that I am, and all that through God. I think God said, "I am that I am," and I think Jesus said, "I'm the Alpha and the Omega," or maybe that was God. But aren't Jesus, God, and the Holy Ghost all the same? It gets weird. It gets goofy. I mean, he can be selfish as hell. Jesus is very selfish. I mean, in the contextual way, not in the objectivist way of selfishness. I'm saying in the contemporary or the regular sense of saying selfishness. Conventional. That's what I'm trying to say. The conventional view aspect of selfishness. Abdul Mateen is on a roll. Before you feed a person, you feed yourself. Yes. And you have to check on who is possible that you can feed. Some people aren't worthy of being fed. Some people just don't have they're not valued enough to be fed. They don't deserve to be fed. I'll say why. Because they don't have the virtues. They don't have virtues, values, and a system of morals. That's why. Abdul Mateen, my good friend. That's why. They're not deserving of it because of their morality. So you have to have, a level of knowing, knowledge is power. That's a cliche, but knowledge is power. Know that Jesus was born in the spring. Christians were gangsters, still are gangsters, run the world. They took over, German and pagan traditions and made it their own. The idea of the Christmas tree. I said this before. The Tannenbaum, put it in the house. This is the Germans. They keep it alive. Something living in the house while it's dark and cold outside. All the string of lights and the different figurines and everything that go that way. That's all pagans. It's paganism. Abdul Mateen said prisoners are fed in America 3 times. Yeah, you get 3 hots in a cot. Yeah. They're not getting steak and lobster, shrimp, unless they're on death row and that's their last meal. They're getting the worst, the least amount of nutrition that's possible. It's probably messing with their dietary concerns and their sexual reproductive concerns, allegedly. That's always been alleged. And in prison, they try to, give you food that doesn't have the nutrients to help, with sexual reproduction or even achieving an erection. So that's what's happened in as far as jails go. But no, Jesus definitely made his mark. You can't deny that. He definitely made his mark. And because of Paul, who did not meet him on the road to Damascus, he did not meet him on the road to Damascus. That's a fact. Instead, Paul wrote about in his epistles the encounter with Jesus, even though he didn't really encounter, and knew that he had to, continue the word of Christ. I think 40 years passed, and they're like, oh wait, this Jesus guy, he was pretty good. He was pretty cool. Let's see what he's about. And it just went on from there. It went on from there. Hey, so I'm gonna wrap it up because I got Christmas stuff to do. Looks like this is gonna be my extended show. My extended show is probably gonna be around this time, probably New Year's Day, not New Year's Eve. But around this time, New Year's Day. Tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your wife, because I'm about to drop a bomb on all of y'all. But I thank you for tuning in. I appreciate Joey for stepping up with the $5. Thank you so much for that, sir. That was my Christmas. That made my Christmas. Dot Focus, of course, Black Cuddy, and of course Abdul Mateen, the Muslim. So I salute all of you. Thank you very much for coming by, and salute to you and Merry Christmas. Take care.